2026 can use to maximize and get A's and B's in chemistry. Now, every year, learners are always vowing to get A's and B's. The first cohort sat in 2024, and learners of 2025, having looked at the paper for 2024, vowed that chemistry is actually easy and they can get A's and B's. Even this year, learners of UCE 2026 are actually spitting fire that they are going to get A's and B's. However, item scorers and item setters every year also become better and better, setting better items. This is because the curriculum is still evolving. Now, they have not understood that the items are actually modeled in a better way and a better way, even the tasks, so that they suit application of chemistry in real life. Now, this means that every year learners are actually expecting the best out of chemistry, but it actually comes out as an embarrassment. This is because most of the learners have not understood the principles of the CBC or the new competence-based curriculum, so that they can learn the best way of responding to items. Now, CBC is not about grammar, about application of knowledge that has been learned in classrooms or in the laboratories. So learners have to devise the best way and have to be told the best approach to actually responding to items and tasks of CBC. This means that if learners are not aware of the best approach or how the items and tasks should be responded to, the A's will never increase. Now, this can be witnessed in the performance of UCE Chemistry 2025. The A's in 2024 were 1%, and the A's in 2025 were actually 0.9%. So there was a reduction. And in 2026, if the learners do not understand how to respond to items in the CBC, they should not expect an increase. Rather, there can be a decrease, or there can be a slight increase. Now, that means that out of 429,769 learners who sat in 2025, only 3,867 got A's. And in 2024, out of 354,739 learners, only 3,547 got A's. Now, that means that for these 2 years, learners are always lying in C's and very few A's and B's. Now, according to the UCE statement of release of results by UNEB that was published in Daily Monitor, that means that most of our learners are just satisfactory, demonstrating just adequate knowledge. They are not extraordinary. They are not at a higher level. That means that we just have a handful of innovators and creators. Now, let us look at some of the reasons why learners of UCE 2025 didn't excel, having sparked fire that they are going to get A's and B's. Now, this will enable learners of 2026 not to make the same mistakes. And in the next video, make sure you be trapped in UCE 2026. So make sure you check out that video on the same YouTube channel. If you are new to this YouTube channel and you have never subscribed, make sure you click on the subscribe button just below this video. Leave a comment in the comment section. What do you expect in UCE 2026? Will there be an increase in the number of A's, or there will be a decrease in the number of A's? Now, we are going to give the best ways of how to tackle UCE 2026 to avoid losing out on A's and B's. Now, the first reason is cram work. Learners of 2025 had crammed the responses based on UCE 2024. Things such as, if they say category, what do you say? If they say evaluate, what do you say? If they say side effects, what do you say? So learners had a lot of cram work, and they didn't actually follow the demands of the scenarios and the tasks. For example, learners had crammed, you state food additives. Learners had crammed that if they say explain, you don't even explain, you just state. So some of these are the mistakes which learners of 2025 face. Avoid the cram work. Actually attempt the scenario and the tasks as they have been displayed to you. Understand the language. Now, the next reason is actually the language traps and failure to follow instructions. Now, item setters are actually intending certain keywords in the tasks and in the scenario. Things such as similarities, explain, evaluate, category or categories. Now, learners should actually follow those language traps in the scenarios and they actually follow the instruction. Most of the items this year will be actually improved with some keywords to actually trap learners. So learners should escape the language trap keywords to excel in 2026. Now, the next reason was that certain tasks had tied scores. That if you don't pass this, you actually don't pass that. For example, an item one that had similarities and differences, A learner who failed a similarity could not score a difference. So some of the tasks have tied scores, that if you don't pass this, you don't pass the other. So learners have to actually keep keen attention and actually understand the task and actually respond to it correctly to avoid failing one part and passing the other, so that they can totally lose out on the whole scores. Now, the other reason is that learners of UCE 2025 based their responses and the items for practice were those of 2024. Some of those had mistakes. Even this year 2026, items are going to be improved. So learners should not base their responses and experience on the previous work. They should actually keep learning the best of responding to items. I thank you very much. If you are new to this YouTube channel, consider subscribing. Leave a comment of what you want me to discuss next in the next video. Now stay tuned. There is a video called Examiner Traps. Make sure you check on it.